Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Kobayashi, Stroll, the captain, Tsunoda, Gasly, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Bottas, Albon, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Joe, and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Now, Ant, as much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
You're going to definitely see action, Crofty. Everyone's G'd up for this one. They've done the testing, like you say. The drivers will be revving inside, heart rates going, trying to burst out their chest at this moment. With that anticipation, who's got the speed? We're going to learn now, once and for all.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive racing experience. If this is your first time here, we drive full-length races without assists from the driver's cockpit with a force feedback wheel and pedals. Give us a like and subscribe. Our content's on Facebook in HD and on YouTube in Ultra HD. It's time for our first race in F124. We are in Bahrain for the night race. So with a new car for the season, we'll point out what's changed with the handling and other major aspects of the game. So here we are adjusting our pit strategy. We're going to go with a 2-stop, and instead of closing off the race with a set of hard tires, we're going to go with the medium tires as we are projected with less tire wear for the race. We're also going to lessen our fuel load and bring it down to just what's required, which is 57 laps. Here we go at the start. No reconnaissance lap this race. And again, we are starting off in 12th place, knocked out in Q2. With our teammate, Kamui Kobayashi, just in front of us. Big scramble here for turn 1, as always. So holding steady here after turn 3 and into turn 4, as we try to avoid colliding with any of the other cars. We do have full simulation damage turned on. So it's going to be very easy to lose a front wing. Coming into turn 7, we are still behind our teammate. Very slow right-hander in turn 8. As we approach turn 9, we're going to be braking from turn 9 all the way down to turn 10. A very sharp left. And onto a short DRS zone.
That is the movie just out of us.
Turn 14 here, and then turn 15, a very slight right-hander right here. Onto the main straight. And the main DRS zone. So this year, after 1 lap, DRS is enabled instead of the usual 2 laps. So we're able to activate it a little faster or a little sooner. And there we are, just taking over our teammate. We're on board here with Kamui Kobayashi, and that is one of the Red Bulls just in front.
That was Perez.
Back on board with the 66. That is George Russell just ahead in the Mercedes.
You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible.
So the big change for F124 is the handling, of course, and everybody has complained about it, but it's actually a very good change. In previous two games, it's always been a struggle to set the car upright, avoiding understeer and avoiding just losing traction out of the turns. But this year we're able to just throw the car in there and it will usually stick. However, the understeer is less hard to distinguish, I would say. But certainly the braking and turning are a lot better this year. So at the end of lap 3, we're still behind George Russell in Mercedes. Very nice view from the helicopter.
Don't ride that curve.
Another big change for the game for F124 is the graphics in the game. It's actually a lot better, a lot more detail. Lighting's a lot better. Shadows are a lot better. The only difference is that the game quite can't handle it. You'll see a lot of glitches here and there. And it's not a matter of frame rate, it's just... It's not a matter of frame rate, it's just the way the game displays. You'll see a lot of stuttering every now and then, especially with the replay or track views. And there are some places in the track here, for example, that the sound does not match what you're actually seeing on screen. And I'm wondering if somebody knows if there's a fix for that. I do have the sound setting on high detail. And there is a warning that it may impact your CPU's performance. However, this game is running at about 150, 180 frames per second in 4K.
Big fight here going on between the Red Bull and the Ferrari.
So we're going to sit back and watch what the Ferrari and the Red Bull are going to do. This is Formula One, and those two drivers are actually at the top of the food chain. And they're going to be very professional at driving, less likely to make a mistake. However, it's still possible and probable that there may be a collision, and we can certainly swoop in and take a couple of spots. Around Max Verstappen, the Ferrari does get in the way and blocks us and allows Max Verstappen to get back in. Down the main straight, we're going to take the cautious way through turn 1 and let these cars play through. So they're still racing against each other, but they
it on
forgot to
track
look
here.
at the 66, and we come right through into turn
Okay,
4.
here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.3 seconds.
Looks like Norris has checked out.
Yes, looking at the timing there on the upper left of the screen, you can see that Lando Norris is now more than 4 seconds ahead. And he is just a black dot disappearing at the end of your screen, or at the end of our view here. So if you mind the information that's displayed there on the steering wheel, this year we are allowed to use the boost at will, and that is an electric boost from the hybrid powertrain, and it's going to give us a little bit more power wherever we want it, whenever we want it, which was available, I believe, in 21 and 20. I think with 20 we were able to adjust the fuel ratio as well. So that is certainly a welcome change. We can't use the fuel ratio yet, but being able to use the boost at will is very important. And it's certainly going to give us an edge when we were racing wheel to wheel with someone. So you can see here that we are getting closer to the Ferrari as the laps go on. Through 14 and 15. Down the main straight, we're going to have DRS available to us. There we are. That little beep indicates that it is available. The two blue lights on the very right of the steering wheel indicate that the DRS wing is open, and here we are. Drive underneath the Ferrari. Saw a few bits of something flying, but we are not indicating any damage in the car. So second place into turn 5 and 6.
Wow, 7.7 seconds. So he's like a second of the lap faster. You can see him disappearing to the lander up there.
Lando Norris is 7 seconds ahead of us now, and it's going to take some consistent laps to get back up to him. So yes, that is the new livery for F124 this year. We have actually gone with the Ferrari powertrain that the Haas team uses for this year, as Toyota is projected to come back in the Formula One. We actually have that car liveried out with the Gazoo Racing logo on the sides. So this year the car does sound different, and in fact with this career we are starting off as a front runner team instead of a second tier or third tier first year team. So our development for the car and the parts and chassis and so on, as well as aerodynamics, is actually leapfrogged ahead, and we'll be competing at the front hopefully for most of the season.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
And again, as this is the first race, we have actually set our difficulty level based on our time during the practice sessions, so that we are within a second or half a second of our teammate. And it looks like we may have to bring up the difficulty a little bit more, just so that there's a little bit closer racing. Because Kamui is falling behind, and that's an indicator that the racing is a little bit too easy right now, and in fact we are in second place after starting off in 12th. And so while we were watching the cars on track, you can see here that the detail on the cars is actually very good. The lighting and the reflections are top notch. The track detail is very good. It's ultra high for this setting. But we're still having problems with the spectator view or track view, as it stutters every now and then, and the sound does not match what you're seeing on screen. Hopefully somebody at Codemasters or EA Sports is going to notice that and fix it. I did post a comment on the forum for EA Sports. So we'll see where that goes. So watching our teammate here, Kamui Kobayashi, he's behind Carlos Sainz and George Russell in the Mercedes. Back to the 66, we are cutting in time here to Lando Norris in the McLaren. Again, he had leapfrogged way ahead earlier in the race. So we're running very safe and consistent laps here, giving it all we can. And at this point, we're not worried about tire preservation. Big slide there on the exit of 13.
Tires are starting to go.
Exiting out of turn 8, here we are approaching turn 9 and turn 10 here to the left. And you can see here that it is very sharp and very slow. But it's very important as it opens up to a straight. Previous 2 years with this game, the exit out of 14 and 15 has always been very slippery, and you've always had to wait to throttle up. But for F124, you can go right for the throttle and go down the main straight. So 5.6 seconds now between Norris and the 66, so we are slowly catching up. Again, it's still early in the race, so we're just going to be fast and consistent. There he is, disappearing around turn 7, turn 8. There's Lando Norris just disappearing in the picture.
Oh,
Big spin here into turn 1.
don't know why we spun there.
So having a quick look at our tire wear, you can see the rear tires are having a lot of wear. Maybe we're accelerating a little too hard out of the turns.
The back tires are a lot more worn.
The temperatures on the steering wheel don't seem too abnormal. Getting closer lap by lap. That is Lando Norris again, right into turn 1.
At the moment, the car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap.
So here we are in lap 14.
Gap is currently around 5 seconds.
We are finding out that we're going to have to manage our tire wear a little bit in the rear. It's certainly escalated as we are accelerating too hard. Another thing to note, if you look on the upper right display on the steering wheel, you can see there is a negative number, negative 14 in red. That is our fuel. And right now we are negative 0.12 or 13 laps short of fuel.
There are 43 laps of fuel remaining.
So there we are. We get a reminder from the pit lane.
So we have to start conserving fuel. Just little by little. Make these tires go up 10 more laps.
Coming in through turn 10, it's obvious now that we are catching up to Lando Norris. However, we're still on the program to conserve tires and fuel. So again, if we're going to be catching him, we're going to have to do it slowly and carefully. Turn 13. And here is Lando Norris coming in
for a force stop
for a tire change after 17 laps. And it looks like he put on another set of reds. So there you can see the video was a little bit stuttery coming out of the pit lane for the McLaren. Again, we didn't have any issues like that with the games in F1 20, 21, 22, and 23.
Okay, 40 laps of fuel left.
So we've got 40 laps of fuel, but we got to do 40.3 laps. And you can see there that we have
We're nearly 10 seconds ahead of Verstappen.
0.18 negative fuel. So we're in a deficit right now.
So we did change the pit strategy to go on a 2-stop, but I don't think it stuck, or we didn't select it on screen. And that's why we are due to come in. I'm going to try to get to 24, 25.
Yes, at this point the car is still driving pretty well with the tire wear, and even though it's 35% in the left rear, as it is a clockwise track, we're going to continue on. We're going
pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
We're going to try to make it to lap 24 or 25. Unless the handling drastically drops off. You can see now that we are still in a deficit for fuel, so we're going to have to start driving a little bit more cautiously. We did get ahead of Lando Norris as he came in to change tires, so we are now in the lead for the race. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the time to Verstappen, which is now about 9.9, 9.8 seconds, nearly 10 seconds behind. And if that drops off very suddenly, it means that we're going too slow, either conserving too much tire or too much fuel, and we're going to have to come in and change tires. And it's definitely going to change the race for us.
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
No, I'm still making time on Verstappen. Car behind. Driver behind.
Verstappen behind you now. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 17 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap, 1:39.2.
So lap 19, you can see now that we are at a deficit of 0.2 laps of fuel. And we're definitely going to have to short shift a little more than that.
And so that's 38 laps of fuel remaining. Don't forget, box this lap.
Not yet. Still making time on Verstappen.
So very lonely at the head of the race as we didn't come in to change out of our soft tires. Again, we're going to try to stretch it here. Curious to see how the fuel situation is going as we approach the main straight, across the start-finish line.
So we're also making fuel.
So the left rear tire is now at 46% wear. In previous games, this car would have been undrivable, or at least very hard to drive around the track and keep time. A lot of short shifting there as we came through the main straight. Again, we're trying to save fuel at this point.
Okay, there are 35 laps of fuel remaining.
We keep getting reminders from the pit box regarding our fuel. So in full simulation mode with the fuel, there is no shortcut to get back to the pits or save it once you run out of fuel, just as it is in real life. When the car runs out of fuel, you just pull over to the side of the track and your race is done. Thankfully here we are at negative 15 or negative 0.5, so we are making fuel, or at least conserving fuel to finish the race. We still have a lot of time to the car behind, which is now Lando Norris, so he must have gotten around Max Verstappen. It looks like maybe Max had come in to change out of his tires, looking at the timing on the upper left. So we have about at least 10 seconds that we can spare, and we're going to use that to conserve fuel here. We're definitely not going slower, but we are upshifting sooner so that we burn less fuel. There's another reminder from our HUD on the lower right of the screen that we should have come in to change out of these tires. And at the beginning of the race, we programmed for a two-stop race, again with 2 reds and 1 yellow tire. We just got to look there at the changes that we're making in the pit strategy, since we are trying to go all the way up to lap 24 or 25 with this first set of reds. That's only going to require us another 27 laps or 24 laps to finish the race. And we can certainly do that with a set of yellows, which is going to be faster than a set of the white tires, which are the hard tires. And we should be able to maintain our speed a little bit better with the yellows. So we changed our strategy to go onto the yellows instead of going into another set of reds, so that we'll be able to finish with just a one-stop race. So on lap 23 is this the lap that we're going to come in and change out. Nope, one more lap at least. On board as we go through turn 4. All the way up to 7th gear, back down to 5th gear. So we are short shifting. Left rear is now down to 51% of wear.
Box a slap.
Understood. Stopping this lap.
Again, looking at
Okay,
the
that's 33 laps of fuel left.
tire wear indicators on the lower right hand of the screen. You can see the front left is down to 40% wear, while the right front is still under 20% wear.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed.
If it was such an issue, we could have changed this, or at least alleviated some of this problem with tire pressures on each side. But not an issue for this race. It's actually worked out pretty well for us, and even going
49
into
miles an
the
hour.
50% wear, car's driven very well.
Okay, there seems to have been a problem attaching the right rear wheel. We need to try and put that behind us, and let's finish this race strong.
So there is our one stop, and
All right, we'll be doing one more stop today. One
Yep.
stop left in this strategy.
that cost us 5 seconds. Coming out, we're just ahead of Verstappen. So we are back in second place. You can see there that Lando Norris is now 24 seconds ahead.
Verstappen's on the hard tires. He's going for a one stop.
So after coming out of the pits, Max Verstappen does have a set of the hard tires, and they should be up to temperature at this point. However, they're still not going to be as fast as our medium tires, which are the yellow striped tires. And after a lap and a half or two, we will be faster than him. So right now he's got an opportunity to get around us, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He is falling back little by little as we go through the lap. Down the straight, coming on to turn 14 to the right. That is Max just behind us. And we are going to be turning up the difficulty in the next race, as he should at least be challenging us.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
lap 26, you can see there on the upper right of the screen that we had set the fastest time for the first sector of the race on a new set of mediums. And that is indicated by the purple on sector 1. Another fast time for sector 2. So on lap 26, the car is faster as it is lighter on fuel, even though we have a slightly slower medium set of tires. There was another stutter in the video feed, which really bugs me with this game. So the time now to Lando Norris up in front is down to 21 seconds.
We're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors, so I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data, so keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems.
And you can see here that our fuel management has brought our fuel to just a little bit of a surplus, just enough to finish the race. At this point, we're at a surplus of 0.03 laps. Now very busy here with our left thumb activating the overtake button with the ERS. Again, a feature that has come back for...
So right now we have enough fuel to finish the race.
2024.
We are making time on Verstappen. However, we are lagging behind Norris in first place. He will have to make another stop. He is on the softs, so that's 2 softs already. So our race may be with Verstappen behind.
Yes, for now we're going to have to hold our pace as we're going to see how the tire strategy is going to work out. Obviously, Max Verstappen behind us does not have to stop again until the end of the race. However, the car in front of us who we are chasing, Lando Norris, is on a second set of reds. He will have to change again. So that 20-second advantage that he's got over us will certainly disappear if he stops. And judging by the math, he should be stopping within the next couple of laps to change onto either a set of mediums or a set of the hard tires to finish the race.
Lance Stroll is out of the race. Lap 30.
The F1 rule set does require you to use 2 different compounds throughout the race. So Lando has used 2 sets of reds. He's going to have to use a different set. Within the race, so he will come in again.
Yellow flag.
There he is.
Yeah, so the yellow flag was for
Okay,
the car that was parked on the right.
Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on.
So watching the 66 come in through turn 1, that car behind is Max Verstappen in the Red Bull with a set of the hard tires. The number 66 here has a set of the medium tires, and it's very possible that we could wear them out before the end of the race. So it's something that we're going to have to watch as far as tire degradation.
Front tires are not as grippy.
But for now, it looks like we've got the fuel in hand to finish the race. Here we are back again with the ERS boost button we have programmed on our steering wheel. And you push it to activate it, and you push it again to deactivate it. So it's a hold style button, and we're using it partly to accelerate out of the slow turns, but it has its greatest effect in the middle to end range of the long straights.
That's the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
So it does help to bring the car to a higher top speed when you have it activated.
Okay, Kamui's coming in for his stop now.
So it still looks like Kamui is on the pit strategy that we were originally programmed on, and you can see here that we had stuck to that strategy. We would be coming in for our third set of tires at this point of the race, lap 32.
Tyre condition
There he is, Lando Norris with his third set of tires, and it looks
There's
like
Norris. This may be his last hit.
that is the
And we
66
just passed him.
just coming around the pit straight. And he is going to come out, looks like just a little bit behind Verstappen as they fight for turn 1. There's the 66 in first place, and here we are with second and third, Verstappen and Norris. So at lap 33, looks like the front runners have finished with their pit stops. These are the tires they're going to finish the race with. Riding on board with Lando Norris with Max Verstappen just ahead. Both of these cars have the hard white tires, and that's certainly going to give you enough to finish the race at this point. So again, if we were going to wear out our set of mediums, we would be racing with Verstappen. But now with Lando Norris just behind him, we would be racing with both of these cars if our tires wear out. Looking back from Verstappen's car, that is Lando Norris coming in through 14. Down the main straight. Pit lane to the left of the screen. Grandstands to the right. A little jig here from Lando Norris. And he's going to try to get around. Not going to make it. Oh. Looks like he won out against Verstappen.
So the left rear is getting hot.
Nose of the McLaren of Lando Norris. We're looking for the 66 just ahead, and can't quite see him just yet, but there he is, just a little dot on the horizon, and he is just over 4 seconds behind. So coming out of turn 8 through 9 and 10, you can see the 66 just disappearing. Just ahead of Lando Norris and Max Verstappen in second and third.
Within sight.
the main straight in turn 1. That is the 66 just ahead. Time now is just 2.3 seconds, so Lando Norris is catching up.
Losing time. Oh, Norris is coming.
There's one of the Williams coming out of the pits. The interval now is just 2 seconds. Going through the turn 1 and turn 2 complex, it's a little bit easier. with the handling this year. Again, a lot of the battles with 22 and 23 were well, first of all, in 22, the car had major understeer, and in 23 it had major oversteer. But with the changes and the update that they've made so far, with F124, you can actually throw that car into the turn, and in most cases it will take it. The difference is that you don't get to feel the loss of understeer or loss of front tire grip as easily, so it's harder to know that you're slipping. So visually it looks like we're keeping our distance from Lando Norris just in second place. For a while there, he was definitely going faster than us around the track.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap.
So we're going to just disregard that. There is no need to come in. Our tires should still be pretty good here to finish the race. They will be very worn out by the end, but again, if we were able to drive the soft red tires into the 50% wear range, we should be able to do that here with the set of mediums. Now it will still be pretty slippery at 50% wear, but the difference here between the tire compounds is that the red ones are going to get to the high wear rate a lot faster, so you're going to start to feel a lot of loss of grip sometimes in between laps, but with the medium tires that's not as likely, or it's going to happen further into the race. But with the hard white tires, you're going to notice a lot of loss in grip immediately.
Box now, please. Box this lap.
1 or 2 seconds per lap.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
So lap 41 of 57, the number 66 is in the lead for the first race of the season, with Lando Norris coming up behind, and there is third place Max Verstappen just disappearing in the back of the screen with a picture. At this point of the race, we are doing a lot of maintaining of the tire wear and fuel use of the car. Obviously, we've done very well not to get into any damage or collisions at this point of the race. So it is challenging in that aspect, but we are going to have to turn up the difficulty level. We are running in full sim mode, so the tire wear, the fuel use, the track conditions, the weather conditions, and the ability of the other drivers, the AI, is all simulation. But again, we are going to have to turn up the difficulty of the race so the AI should be going faster. To make it a closer race, I think this is exactly what happens in the real world in Formula One. You can see Max or Lando just taking off and everybody's left behind, but I think for racing, the audience gets tired or bored of that. And I think everybody wants to see a little bit of a closer, challenging race at the end without having to do the full course yellows as in NASCAR or IRL in other formats of racing. And what we're looking at here is a custom helmet for F124. We did not do one for 22 and 23. Every time they do an update on the game, it erases all of your mods. So you have to go back in and install them. And,
Very wide.
in recent years, you have to install the helmet, which is several parts into different, actually 3 different locations. So it's a lot of work every time it's erased. At least with the car livery, if you do a custom one, you just have to install it in one place. There are 2 pieces to install though, but there are 3 pieces to install, but it's only in one spot. So it's easier.
Norris has slowed down, and we are going to have to conserve fuel here.
Coming around 14 to close lap 43. There is a back marker just ahead of us. A lot of short shifting here through 7, 8, 9, and 10. The indicator on the steering wheel shows that we are in a little bit of a deficit of fuel, which is something that we've had to manage throughout most of the race. We did start off with half a lap of extra fuel.
Gonna pit. Very wide on 4. off.
Okay, clear.
Coming into turn 4, you can see Lando Norris in the orange car at the top of your screen. He is still in the picture. However, I think the back markers are slowing him down as he does have a set of the hard tires. So handily making it our way around the back markers. You can see 2 cars ahead of us. That is our teammate, Kamui Kobayashi, in the other driving immersion. And these back markers should be pulling over just a little bit here.
It's my teammate.
And we're going to get around. So very far in the back there, you can see in a little bit that Lando Norris have had to make his way around several back markers that are very close to each other, and that's definitely going to slow him down. At least when we came around our back markers, they were only 1 or 2 at a time. And looking back now, you can see that he will have to come around 3 of them all at once.
Good on fuel.
Back into fuel surplus.
Vehicle condition.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
So we are good on the cars with the hard tires. I believe 9 laps.
Cautiously around turn 8. In the past couple of years, that would have spun us out if we didn't take it very carefully. There's Lando Norris. He's made it around the back markers. Just about 10 laps to go. Time now between first and second is 4 seconds, 4.2.
Driver in front.
You're in first position, front of the pack.
That's Perez.
Handily made it around the Red Bull, down the main straight. And there is Lando Norris just coming around turn 15. Turn 10 on lap 50. We're trying to hang on to the race at this point. We're good on fuel. And I think we're good on tires. Lap 51 coming around to
DRS still not working.
start 52. So as we've been in the lead, we haven't had to use the DRS, and we're coming to find out that it has not been working. Fortunately, we're fast enough without it.
Lost a lot of time to Norris on that one.
Offline, there's a fault with the rear wing system. Stay out so we can work on a fix remotely.
So DRS still not working, but doesn't look like we'll be needing it at this point of the race. Lap 54 now and 57. Looking at the timing on the left, you can see that we are 2.2 seconds ahead of second place Lando Norris, 8 seconds ahead of third place Max Verstappen. So his white tires are certainly going away. He did put those on before we had actually put on our set of mediums here, so his tires would be wearing sooner than ours, and it's clearly evident at this point. Now the car behind us, Lando Norris, 2 seconds behind now, at 1.4 and 5 seconds behind, so he is making time at this point of the race. He does have a set of the hard tires, which are not as grippy, has less traction. Should be slower lap for lap, but right now we are still able to stay ahead.
Watching our fuel here.
Starting lap 56 with 0.07 laps of fuel surplus. Obviously that's critical. As there's only 2 laps left. If we go into a deficit of fuel, it's going to be very hard to make it up unless we slow down quite a bit, which is not going to be possible since Lando Norris is just a couple of seconds behind us. So at this point, we do have to manage our fuel by not using too much. However, we can't slow down too much because Lando Norris is right behind us, as you can see here from the helicopter, coming out of turn 10. On board with Lando Norris, you can see he's 1.3 seconds behind. If he can just get under 1 second behind, he will get into the DRS zones and use his DRS. And that's going to give him a few kilometers per hour advantage over us. Starting our last lap, he's going to have to make it count. So at the end of the straight, he actually makes time, but he did not have his DRS open. Here we are into the second DRS zone.
DRS.
We should have it open now, so he should be able to catch up pretty quick. Turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, turn 7 here to the left. So time is running out for him. He's going to have to make it around. He will be able to use his DRS here along the straight, coming out of turn 10. And you can hear that we had a little bit of tire slip as we were trying to accelerate out as hard as we can, trying to stay ahead.
No more fuel concerns. Final turn.
So we just want to have him stay out of our draft. Doesn't look like he's close enough.
Close though.
Nice one. Very lovely drive. On to the next one.
And that is a win for our first race
Superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
in F1 24. So hopefully it's going to be a very productive season. Again, we did start out as one of the top tier teams instead of one of the
That's a
beginner teams.
fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert.
It's always great to kick off the season with a race victory. You hit the ground running, and it's really good for your confidence as well moving forward.
There's our helmet, making it
to
count.
set off on the right footing, and that's exactly what they've been able to achieve today.
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
So that's going to do it for the first race of the season, getting the best result that we can get, starting out as a top-tier team. Next race is in Saudi Arabia. Don't forget to click like and subscribe on the video for more racing. We also race in Le Mans Ultimate and R Factor 2 as well. Again, we are available on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you at the next race.